Hello, everyone. Thanks to the power of the internet, I get to talk with you. So, I took a little bit of time since the initial reveal of the new Overtriggers just to get a general idea what the community thinks and get a better idea of what, you know, I myself personally think about them. So, let's pull them up. Obviously, this is the one that everyone hates because it says retire Guardians and, rear guards. So I would like to mention we already had an overtrigger that if you go overtrigger to pass, you could and also give a rear guard 100 million. It's the default overtrigger that everyone should have hundreds of. I know I do. I have a stack of them on the side. Not a lot of people play it because that's all it does. The reason why people should fear this OT is because it retires rear guards, so people like Lil Norn will cry, and if it's just a bigger punish for committing to a board. The big thing about this, though, is it draws you 3, because it gives you 2 for every opened rear guard circle. And don't forget, you get to choose when this happens, so you can retire everything and then draw 1 because one column is open, another because the other column is open, and another because the back rear guard behind the Vanguard and the Guardian circle is empty. But outside of that, you should not fear the retire Guardians thing, because even if you PG, that is a skill, not a shield value. So once that skill is activated, it's not nullified. The guard is just retired from guard. So this thing is just okay. The one I think everyone should be, going after is purple, because this is choose a card from your damage. Don't forget, it can be counterblasted, so this is basically a heal. Then you got to bring something to hand. Bring it to hand, which I think is great. And then call it to rearguard, and it gets 10k. That's pretty good, considering that is a multi-attack during the battle phase, which probably why you're seeing more cards that say unless called during battle. You can still take some older support, because I know... Let's take Magnolia, the deck I know most. The new Sylvan Horn, if it's called during battle, doesn't get its Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, call another unit. But Eileen, the card it's replacing, is just called from hand. So you can call her Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, get something from drop, call it a rear, activate the OT with her. The question is, and I don't think anyone should plan on that, is because the OT is a one of, you're most likely going to draw it or never see it for that situation to happen, so just assume this says attack +1, which I think is cool. It's also a heal trigger. Some other things that were released with this are just strictly worse Elementaria, because it requires you to have the energy generator. Your opponent needs one, and another crest, so if they're playing Luard, Shiranui, Mushi King, any of Token Rambu, they can use this. The only upside to playing this, if you're playing a main deck grade 4 like Jejuled, Magnolia, Prison, Jiva, etc., like Bastion, those types. However, strictly speaking, this is a standard only card because it requires the energy generator, hence you don't get that in, premium. It's just a strictly worse one. Like, cool, I guess you can put in the grade 4 main deck, but at that point, it's still so niche. I'd rather just run another PG. I mean, it still has the same thing, so it's free if they are playing it, but And apparently we got Pot of Greed, though I like the Boba effect more, that you just throw this in Soul and countercharge 1. Should it be a Regalia piece? Not really. You know how to get a draw 2? You swing with Twin Drive. So, it's cool, I guess. This exists. it's a regalia piece. There are better options, but I guess if something's so counterblast heavy or hand needed, you could do this. Like, I played this in my Granthia build, where it's just straight gas. I could countercharge one and get another soul. That's cool. Or I could draw 2 cards, because God knows I used my whole hand only for my opponent to just retire Noble Rose that I got up to 100k. But yeah, I think definitely circling back to the OTs, it's once again kind of what happened with red and blue, where the yellow is the red OT, where everyone's going, oh wow, this is so massive because aggro's the thing, but the blue OT is sitting there pretty going like, no, I'm the better one. Yeah, this is a pretty short video. It's just, I wanted to get my thoughts on them actually there in my mind before making this video. So if you made it this far, thanks very much. Tell me what you think about all this generic stuff, and thanks for watching.